this is Patrick. In this video, we're going to go over how to swap or trade cryptocurrency using a decentralized exchange such as Uniswap. And I'm also going to cover a little bit of things about wallet security and just some things in general that you should know about wallet. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that if in Windows you search for Exodus, and you don't have it installed, and you go to web results and say, like the very first one right here, this is a scam. If you click on this, you'll be taken to a page where when you say get Exodus, it's going to ask you for your 12 phrase secret phrase, seed phrase, whatever you want to call it. If you put that into the website, then they will steal all of the crypto that you own. So be really careful about using Bing or Windows search for Exodus. Instead, just go directly to the website, which is exodus.io or exodus.com. It used to be exodus.io. Now that will redirect you to exodus.com. All right. So that said, let's look at Uniswap. So when you go to uniswap.org, it's going to take you to a page that looks like this. You're going to click Launch App, and it'll take you to the app. Now, at its most basic, you choose a coin here, a token here, and a token there. So let's say we want to buy ETH with USDC that happens to be on our wallet. Right now, when you go this direction, that's going to be swapping ETH for USDC. In our case, we want to buy ETH with USDC. So we would click that little button and it flips them around. So at its simplest, that's basically how it works. So you're going to choose a token. So in this case, I'm going to choose USDT and ETH. So you would have to have USDT in your wallet, and it'll tell you the current price of ETH right down here. So what we're going to do is, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to put in $1,000, and it's going to tell us that for $1,000, we're going to get this much ETH, and it's telling us the dollar value of that. So, and then it's also going to tell us the amount of the price of ETH that we're paying. And then over here, it's going to give us this little gas token. And this is the amount of ETH that will cost us in gas. So on the Ethereum network, which is what Uniswap is by default, is the Ethereum network, the gas fees have to be paid in Ethereum. That means that your wallet has to have Ethereum in it. Also note that there are some other networks you can trade on Uniswap. So for example, you can trade on the Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Coinbase, BNB Chain, Avalanche, and Celo. So these are other networks that you can trade on. In order to trade on those other networks, you're going to have the base, you have to have the token in that network, and you're also going to have some of the native token of that network. So for example, if you wanted to trade on the Polygon network, you're going to need some Polygon Matic to act as fuel, and then you'll need to have your coins or tokens on the Polygon network. That's going to be outside of the scope of the rest of this particular video, so let's not worry about it. Now, going back to gas fees, there's a couple different ways you can reduce the amount of gas. But the main way to reduce gas fee is to make sure that you're trading at a time that is not peak. So peak trading time is Monday through Friday, basically trading hours, 8 o'clock Eastern time until about 6 o'clock that night Eastern time. The west coast of the United States doesn't have 6 o'clock until 3 hours later, so 9 o'clock Eastern time. If you're doing it outside of those peak hours, you're generally going to have cheaper gas fees. Now, one other thing I want to do is let's just take a look at the effect of scale on the amount of gas that you're going to use. So on Uniswap, increasing the amount of that you're trading doesn't really affect gas that much. Let's go even higher. So you can see now, going up to 100,000, that is going to significantly increase your gas fees. The other thing is that there's something known as slippage. Slippage is the difference in price between what you want to pay and what you actually end up paying. So let's just look for a second. If we go back down to 1,000, you'll notice that right here we're getting this negative 20%. So what that means is we're we're actually losing about 0.2% in the trade from slippage. If we go up to that 100,000, notice that now we're losing 0.5% because of slippage. You can change your slippage here. Maximum slippage is auto, but you can also change it to be whatever you want it to be. The higher the liquidity in the pool that you're looking for. So USDT and Ethereum, those are two really big liquid, highly traded things. There's not going to be that much slippage. But if we go to something else that isn't as common, let's just say Aave. And now you're going to see that the slippage here is 3.19%. So that means you're losing 3% in your transaction just because there's not enough volume at the current price. So remember, just because you see a spot price doesn't mean you can actually buy the amount of coins or sell the amount of coins you want at that spot price. Your transaction is actually changing the market. And in the case of Aave, that is a net negative 3%. So when you're buying Aave with USDT, that $100,000 is so big that it's affecting the price by 3%. Now, on the other hand, let's say you're only buying $1,000 worth of Aave. In this case, you're only affecting the price by 0.35%. So this is something to keep in mind anytime you're swapping something, is take a look at the slippage. And the less traded the things you are, the less liquidity, the less volume there is traded in the things you're looking to buy or sell, the bigger the slippage is going to be. Let's also just take a look at Aave in the case of that 100,000 transaction. You'll notice that the gas fee is much, much bigger, $27 for that $100,000 transaction versus only $6 for the $1,000 transaction. Now, just quickly going back to ETH, just to compare that, it was about $3 for 1,000, and it was $8 for 100,000. So you can see an idea of what to expect in terms of gas fee changes is going to depend on what you are looking to trade. But generally speaking, the smaller the trade, the smaller the gas fees somewhat. And you'll just notice that just while I've been talking there, that went from $8 to $5. So that's another one of those things where, you know, the timing that you use can really affect the actual fees that you pay. Now, on $100,000, paying a fee of 5% is not that bad. But when you're going for $1,000, a fee of $5 is actually pretty big, or $3 is pretty big compared to the size of your trade. So one thing to note is that although you will pay a higher gas fee for bigger transactions, as a percentage of the transaction, it goes down, but your slippage goes up. All right. Now, in order to actually buy something on here, we're going to have to connect a wallet. So we're going to click Connect, and by default, there are 4 wallet connections that are supported. The first one is the Uniswap wallet, which is supported by Uniswap. Then there's Metamask, which is probably one of the most common Ethereum EVM type wallets. And then there's something called WalletConnect, and then there's Coinbase Wallet. So the first thing we're going to look at is WalletConnect. So let's say that you're using Exodus. What you do is you click that, and it pulls up this this QR code. Now, if you're using a mobile wallet, like say Exodus Mobile, then what you're going to do is you're going to click the little profile button on your Exodus wallet, and you're going to click Connect. And that will bring up a camera scanner for WalletConnect. Scan that, and then you'll be able to approve your Uniswap transactions on your mobile wallet. If you are using a desktop wallet, you can click desktop down here, and there's 3 options by default. One is Ledger, one is Orion, one is Fireblock, and then you can view all, and there's some additional ones. One thing to note is that Exodus does not show up in the desktop results. So you can only use either the Exodus web app, or you can use the Exodus mobile to do WalletConnect, but you can't use the Exodus, desktop app. So you can, however, use Ledger Live, which is important. A lot of people ask, well, can I use Ledger? Yes, you can. Now, for the sake of the rest of this video, I'm going to show you click using MetaMask. So when you click MetaMask, it will bring you to a MetaMask page. It's already connected for me. If you have multiple accounts, sometimes it'll pop up in this little area over here. What you'll see is a little pop-up asking you to choose which account. So if you've got 3 accounts, you've got to choose the one that you're intending to trade. If you have the same coin in multiple accounts, so let's say that you have USDT in 2 different accounts and you want to buy some Aave in one account and Chainlink in another account, then what you would do is buy your Aave in one account, then switch accounts, and then you would click, and then you would go to the other one. So if we click here, if you've got multiple accounts, you can change the account that you're using by clicking on the MetaMask and then changing the account that you want to change to. It'll ask you if you want to switch or connect to it. So by default, if you have multiple accounts, only the account that you are currently logged into or active is going to be the one that connects by default. So if you need to switch accounts, then you can do it. This account has $100 worth of Ethereum, and I think it's got a little bit of USDT in it. And for some reason, it's having trouble loading the tokens at the moment. All right, but Uniswap can already see that there's $100 of USDT. So I click max. It'll automatically select that $180 of USDT, and then it'll show me whatever I have Ethereum. So let's say that I wanted to switch USDT for USDC. It's going to think for a second and then show me the prices. So $1.80 of USDT will currently buy me $1.79 and change of USDC, and it tells me how much slippage is in that. Now, MetaMask has recently, and it'll cost me $5 of gas to do that. If you click on that up down, it'll show you a little bit more detail. If you click the little gear, it'll let you adjust your slippage and then also change your transaction deadline. If you run your own node, you can route your swap through your own node instead of going through the Uniswap's main nodes. And then there's also a new Uniswap X program, which you can enable or disable. You can read the advantages of that. It supposedly gives you better liquidity sources, better prices, and gas-free swaps. So in the case of turning it on, what we can see is that it gave us a slightly worse price for the USDC, but it gave us a lower network fee. We'll switch that back off. Actually, that price is still low now. Actually, no, okay, better price, but higher gas fees. So enabling that may or may not give you a better deal. Net, you're going to end up with a little bit less USDT turning it on, but you're going to end up with more Ethereum because it won't have cost you as much in Ethereum gas fees. So, hey, choose whatever you want there. Also, if you click buy, then it will bring you to this page right here. So in this case, you can actually buy with dollars. And so let's just say we want to buy that, $500 of Ethereum. We're going to click continue. And then it's going to have you check out with MoonPay. So you can use your credit card or bank account with MoonPay if you're in a state that supports that. So if you need to buy some crypto with fiat money, you can actually use MoonPay if it's available in your jurisdiction to do that. All right. Let's get out of that. Okay, so back to swap. So that's really about it in terms of using using Uniswap. It it's used technology known as automatic market maker, which is going to take into account the amount of liquidity in that pool of the two tokens you're trading. So someone will have started a pool to trade USDT to USDC, and then whoever has put that liquidity up is going to get a small percentage of each of the transactions that goes through. So that's basically how it works. With some of the more advanced decentralized exchanges, you can actually put in limit orders. I don't think you can put in limit orders for Uniswap. Okay, according to this article on Uniswap.org's website, there isn't technically limit orders, but there is something called a range order that can be used to approximate a limit order, but that's only available on Uniswap v3. And as far as I can tell, on the Uniswap app, I'm not seeing a place to switch to version 3, or even to how to select what version you're on. So anyway, if I can find out more about that, then I'll post a follow-up video on how to put in a limit order. But for right now, let's just keep things rolling. Click max. Click swap. It'll ask, do you want to confirm that? We're going to say confirm. And then what's going to happen is we're going to have to enable it first. So in this case, we need a spending cap. So by default, it'll give you a spending cap. In this case, it says, be careful, because if you make that too high, they could spend your entire balance. So you might want to make the token cap smaller. So in this case, I only have 180 USDT, so 180 would be the max that I could use for this transaction. You could also make it higher, but in that case, you know, if you don't have it, it doesn't really matter. So in this case, we're going to go 180 because that's what I've got in USDT. Click next. Then we're going to have to click approve, and it will approve. In this case, what you're approving is your spending cap. So you need about $1 worth of Ethereum to approve that. Now, you actually haven't approved the transaction. You've only approved your approval to trade it. Now it's going to come up with, hey, do you want to trade this exact thing? So we're going to allow that swap. Now, what we just did was we confirmed that we wanted to interact with the Chainlink smart contract. So Chainlink is a ERC20 token. When you have to approve your ability to interact with that token. And now we're going to actually confirm the trade. So in this case, what we're doing is we are going to be purchasing with $3.73. $3.73. It keeps changing every couple seconds as it refreshes. We're going to be doing this particular trade. So in this case, let's go ahead and do it. Swap submitted. And you heard in the background a little cha-ching. See if it actually works. Okay, so confirm 25 transactions, and you can view it on Etherscan if you want to see that particular transaction. Now, if you go into Metamask, click out of the swap, there is now Chainlink instead. Another thing to note is that if you go back into Metamask and click Add Hardware Wallet, you can actually connect your hardware wallet to a Ledger or Trezor or to Lattice or a QR-based hardware wallet. So you can still use Metamask to actually interact with Uniswap if your funds are on Trezor or Ledger. So just something to be aware of is that, you know, a lot of times I get questions, well, can I use my Ledger? or can I use my Trezor? The answer is yes. You don't even have to install the Ledger Live wallet if you don't want to. You can do it directly through MetaMask. And let's look at MetaMask swaps. We are going to use the swap internally. Okay, so here's our quote from Uniswap, and here is okay. So what we can see is that in this case, it's offering us a little bit less Ethereum, so 1127 versus 0.1177. So you're going to come off a little bit better in the Ethereum department, and the fee on MetaMask being quoted is gas fee is $4.46 versus $4.45. So at least for USDT to Ethereum right now, it looks like you're better off swapping on Uniswap. I actually did this earlier today, and MetaMask turned out slightly better at that time. You can also look at all quotes. Oh, sorry. Notice that MetaMask does take a 0.875% fee in this, and that's probably why you're getting a little bit less. If you click all the quotes, you can see the ones that it's quoting. So you can see it says that this is currently the best, but it'll let you choose which one you want, and it also shows you the slippage. Sources aggregator. That's not very specific. RFQ, request for quotation, and that can be any number of things. So it's not going to tell you which place it's actually getting it from. Let's come back to here, and let's make that a much bigger. So let's say 1,000, and we'll make this 1,000 also. We've got to wait for this first. Now we'll do MetaMask 1,000, and what we can see is okay, so 0.621 versus 0.626. So it's a pretty significant loss. Now as far as gas fees, 358 versus 356. All right. And let's go up to 10,000. And so here we can see for Uniswap, we're going to be getting 6.26. And for MetaMask, they're going to be offering a 6.21. So that's like the bigger you go, the bigger you're being impacted by that change. And then 339 versus 380. So all things together, when you're looking at specifically USDT to Ethereum at this moment in time, it looks like you're better off going directly through Uniswap. All right, let's switch to Chainlink and see what that is going to be. $10,000 on Chainlink. We're going to get 13,000 Chainlink. And here in MetaMask directly, $10,000 is going to give us 12,095. So we're going to end up with approximately 6 Chainlink fewer. And the gas fee is actually higher. In this case, $4 versus $9. So for the sake of convenience, it might be really great for some people, especially if you're using smaller transactions, to just go through MetaMask's native swap, or it's not native, but built-in swap. And then when you're going with bigger transactions, then check the built-in versus Uniswap and other sites. You can always look at CoinMarketCap to see. Let's just take a look at Chainlink, for example. Chainlink. And then we can go to Markets and then DEX. And this will tell us the price for all of these things. Now, in the case of Uniswap v2, that's Link versus Ethereum. Here we go, Link versus USDT. So you can see that the price Link USDT is 7.62, and that's actually the best price. And that's on Polygon. All pairs, let's see if we can do just USDT. Here we go. So 750 is the current price on Ethereum according to CoinMarketCap. And when we came back to here, it's offering us 668. So we're actually getting a higher price on Uniswap at the moment. Now, if you're selling, that might make a lot of sense. You want the higher price. But when you're buying, it might make sense. I'm not really sure why it's actually giving us a higher price when we are trying to do that. But, I mean, it could just be slippage, like we said. So now we've walked through an entire transaction and given you a lot of background detail on how the whole thing works. What do you do if you have money, if you have, let's say you have a bunch of Ethereum or a bunch of USDT in Exodus on your desktop wallet? There's two things you can do. One is you can install either a mobile or the web app. And either of those will allow you to connect to Uniswap. Alternatively, what you could do is you could export your private key and then import that into Metamask. So in the last video, we showed you how to import custom tokens, and also how to set up Metamask to with a private key. So you can actually do that within Metamask. You click the button, and then you would click here we want to add account. Sorry, you would want to import account, and then paste in your private key there. So you can always do that if you have a coin. Now, this is something that's really important to note, is that your money isn't in Metamask. It's not in Trust Wallet. It's not in Exodus. Your money is on the blockchain, and you control a private key that allows you to interact with the blockchain. So you can actually use either the same seed phrase and put the same seed phrase into multiple wallets. So you can put it into Trust, you can put it into Metamask, you can put it into Exodus. The problem with doing that, and also this is another problem, these hot wallets, a wallet that is directly, the private key is stored on that device. So right now, when you click this Metamask and it pops down, and you go, hey, I want to do it, what it's doing is it's actually has your private key stored directly on the device. It's password protected, but it's still on the device. If I walk away from this computer, someone else can walk right up to it and do anything they want with any of the accounts that are currently open on this MetaMask. So what that means is if you put your MetaMask on your laptop, your desktop, your backup laptop, your work laptop, your phone, your wife's phone, your kid's phone, your tablet, if any one of those devices is hacked or is compromised or is stolen, there's a chance that they could take all of your funds. This actually happened to one of the guys that I follow for cryptocurrency trading, Jason Casper, recently. He had $700,000 of Bitcoin that was stolen from an Exodus wallet because his phone got compromised. So just be really, really careful anytime you are putting your devices, your wallet on multiple devices. It's convenient, but it's also risky. So, but the important thing there also is that you're not limited to, well, my money's in Exodus and I can't trade it because it's not on MetaMask. You can export your private key from Exodus, put it into MetaMask for the purpose of trading on Uniswap. Or if you're like, you know what? I just don't like MetaMask because by default they log IP addresses, and I don't like that. That'll be the subject of a future video. You can export your private key from there and put it into Trust Wallet or Rabby Wallet or whatever other wallet you want. So remember, when it comes to cryptocurrency, just like with Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. And you are responsible for the security of your own cryptocurrency. And that includes losing it, but it also includes getting it stolen or getting it hacked. All right, on that note, this is a long video, but hopefully it's been helpful to you. There's links in the video, links below the video to join Telegram groups that I'm a member of, and hopefully we'll all get rich together in crypto.